Good morning, everyone. This is the first episode of the Nameless Podcast.
We are in the process of finding a name. So,
Yeah, it's the first time we're doing this. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just starting. We're gonna talk about different stuff. My name is Ahmed Elgohary, and today we have a guest.
Ahmed Elgohary.
And today we're gonna talk about bodybuilding, but in general, in the future, we're gonna talk about different stuff that I think issues that a lot of people our age face. But today we're gonna talk about bodybuilding because he's competing for the very first time tomorrow.
Yes.
So he's gonna tell us how he prepared, how he ate, trained to get ready for this. So
Yes, so just like Tohi said, tomorrow there is a competition. My first time ever competing. I have been wanting to do this for quite a while. And finally I made the decision. Not in a perfect shape, but it would be great to just go and compete and get the experience and get that exposure and go from there. So
when did he decide to compete?
I decided to compete. So I've been working out at the gym since I was like 13 years old. I'm currently 30 years old, so it's been a really long time.
Wow.
I've been on and off, but I'm super passionate about bodybuilding and working out at the gym and dieting. So I just thought, like, if I'm passionate about it, I might as well just get in the world of competition and go from there, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, so
So how ready are you for tomorrow? How do you feel about this?
I feel good, but I'm not ready. So I feel good because I've been wanting to do this for a long time, and finally I'm gonna step on stage, and finally I'm gonna get that experience. And I am not, I wouldn't say that I'm 100% ready, and this is because it's my first time, first of all. The second biggest, I would say, I wouldn't say mistake, but learning from the process is that I should have been working with a coach, and I'm planning to do this for the next competition. So this time, I got in contact with a coach. I got a workout program, training, supplements, dieting, and I followed the program as much as I could, but I didn't have somebody like to,
Mentor you step by step.
mentor me step by step, tell me about my deficiencies, what I need to work on, and stuff like that.
Okay. How long have you prepared for this? 4 or 5 weeks?
8 weeks total.
Or 8 weeks?
Yeah, and I just got out of a shoulder injury,
Yeah.
so I wasn't able to train with 100% of my capability. I was just, I took it easy. I'm currently, I would say, at maybe an 80% of my capability to lift weights.
Okay.
So I'm not even 100%, and the competition is tomorrow. But I'm recovering, and I learned so much throughout the process, which is what matters.
Okay. Um. Nice.
So, do you want to maybe talk about the three main things: dieting, and then maybe workout, and maybe
Yeah, you had a
talk a little
plan.
bit about the competition?
You had a plan from the beginning till today. How
Yes.
are you gonna prepare? So how did you plan it?
So that's a really good question because you definitely need to have a plan
Yeah.
before you start competing. Um, I got in contact with a pro bodybuilder, and I got a workout program, and that gave me an idea of what I'm going to be dieting, and how many days I need to go work out, how much time, what do I need to work out, what kind of workouts I need to focus on, the rest. And one of the most challenging parts for me, in addition to that, was posing. So posing, I relied on a lot of YouTube videos to learn about posing
Yeah.
and
No, you came a long way from with posing.
thank you.
When I saw you 8 weeks ago versus 2 weeks ago.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And Tochi has been helping me big time with my posing and motivation.
Motivation. Yeah. Well, okay. What did you do for dieting for 4 weeks, for the first 4 weeks, or however you split it?
I did what's called a carb cycling diet. So basically, the concept of this diet is to have low carb days and then a high carb day. So you're tricking your metabolism. You cannot just stay at low carb all the time. Then your metabolism is gonna get used to it. Your system is gonna get used to it. You're not gonna see much fat burning. So you want to cycle these carbs. So maybe do a few days of low carbs, 1 day of high carb, and then go back to a few days of low carbs, 1 day of high carb. And you can do this up to maybe the week before the competition.
Okay.
Then you're gonna have to do things differently in the last week, which is called peak week.
What did you do different?
Okay, what I learned so far is that so let's say you're bodybuilding and you're dieting, you're gonna reach a good physique out of the bodybuilding and dieting. But on stage, you don't want your physique to be good. You want it to be extraordinary. So the purpose of the peak week is to trick your system, trick your body to get the maximum pump you could get while you're stepping on stage. So the moment you're stepping on stage, you're pumped and you're conditioned to the max. So basically, one of the main things you have to focus on is the carb pump. So the way it's done through a carb depletion. So you're gonna start depleting carbs from your system, and then a day or two before the competition, depending on your body, you're gonna start carbing up, which is carb loading. So what you're doing is you depleted your muscles completely from glycogen. And then when you carb up the day before, the glycogen starts getting to your muscles quickly and with huge amounts. So you're gonna get a pump that's even better than the usual pump that you have been getting throughout your carb diet. That's one thing. The other is you want to be able to remove most of the water from the subcutaneous layer, which is the layer between your skin and the muscles. If you have a lot of water retained in this layer, you're not going to be able to see the definition of the muscle. There's so many ways this is done. I'm trying to figure it out personally. But one of the concepts that I researched and I understood was the potassium sodium concentrations. So basically, potassium is an electrolyte, and it's an intracell electrolyte. So it's inside the cells. Sodium is an electrolyte, but it's extracellular, so it's outside the cells. So you want your water to go from your outside the cell to inside the cell. So you have water inside your muscles because your muscle has large amounts of water anyways. You want to move that water from the subcutaneous layer, which is outside the cells, to inside the cells. So in the last few days or even several days before the competition, you want to make sure your potassium intake is so high compared to your sodium intake.
Okay.
And there is so much behind it. I'm personally like not 100% on the other theories behind it, but I just know that you have to keep your potassium levels so high compared to the sodium levels so that you're moving as much of this water from your subcutaneous layer to inside the muscles.
Okay.
And that gives you a pump too.
Okay.
That's why you've been seeing me eating a lot of cucumber, and I ate some sweet potatoes because they have high potassium levels.
What about bananas?
Banana has high potassium as well.
Do you eat it?
I don't know if it's because you also have to put in mind anything you're gonna be eating in the last few days before the competition. You want to make sure it's not gonna cause any bloating, any difficulty in digestion. You want things that are so easily digested and things that will not cause any bloating in your stomach. Because you want to show up on stage with the smallest waist and the smallest gut possible. So,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Training wise.
Training wise, I had the wrong mentality about training, and that's how I got injured. And I learned from that injury a lot. I thought you needed to train like every day and twice a day and like crazy. It's not like that. Training wise, I train 3 on, 1 off right now, and it works out perfectly for me. 3 days on, 1 day off. You have to give yourself the day off to recover. And 3 days on, I do the first day arms, let's say push, upper body push. The second day legs. The third, upper body pull.
Okay.
And maybe in the next, same thing. So that I'm not overworking any muscle. I'm trying to avoid as much injuries as possible. When it comes to the timing of the workout, I try to keep it to a max of 1 hour and a half. I try to go quick and focus on the muscle, and once you're done with it, move to the next muscle. You don't have to do 2 exercises that target the same exact part of the muscle because you're pretty much wasting your time. So the theory is you want your muscles to experience something the muscles has never experienced before, and you want to basically like destroy your muscles. So high intensity, maybe 2 to 3 sets of each part of the muscle, and then move to the next and get it done, move to the next, get it done, move to the next, and rely on intensity for sure. You don't have to be staying at the gym for 2 hours and doing another hour of cardio. It's really not about quantity, it's more about quality.
True.
Yes.
But I found with my experience in working out that I got the best results from working out twice a day for 5 days a week, and then once a day for the other 2 days.
That's a good perspective. So that's one thing about the whole bodybuilding deal is that bodybuilding is basically your body is building muscles, and your body, your system is different from my body, is different from his body, from her body. So everybody has a system and it works differently. That's why you have to find the happy medium. You have to find what really works for you. Like you have to kind of experiment. So, and see what works for you and what gives you the best and the maximum results. So, some pro bodybuilders recommend separating the cardio in the morning and doing your workout later in the day. But the whole theory behind training too much, which I read about it too, is that when you train at the gym, in the first hour, your body boosts the testosterone and growth hormones. Testosterone, natural testosterone levels and growth hormones. So you peak at 1 hour. After 1 hour, the testosterone levels and growth hormone curves start declining. And also because you're working out, you're putting your muscles and your body under a lot of stress, then your body starts releasing the stress hormone called cortisol. The stress hormone does muscle breakdown, for one. For two, it does inflammation. It enhances the inflammation. It has an inflammatory effect. So you have to find the happy medium, and it also depends on your body. Maybe someone gets their cortisol levels too high after 1 hour of training, or 1 hour and a half. Maybe somebody else gets them high after 2 hours. So it's like a give and take situation.
Okay.
But scientifically, they said keep it from 1 to 1.5 hours and be very intense. Don't take too much breaks. Be very intense. Get the maximum you can get out of it in these 1.5 hours. Then call it good.
Okay.
Because of the stress levels versus the testosterone and growth hormone levels. You want to be able to find a happy medium.
For you, for everybody should find their happy medium.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. Yes.
Do you know how Dorian Yates used to train?
I heard that he used the method of drop sets.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. What did you hear about it?
So he does one set, and he just like keeps dropping the weight till he can't do anymore, to like complete failure with each weight.
Yes.
Drops the weight, goes to complete failure, drops the weight, goes to complete failure, and till there's no more weight to drop. And then he takes maybe more than 2 minutes to recover, 3 minutes to recover, and then goes to the next exercise. But he used to do that, from what I read, it's for 4 to 6 weeks, because he said more than that your body will start to overtrain. So I think his point was like, you can't overtrain from one session or a week of working out very hard. It takes weeks for your body to overtrain. And I think it's more of under eating, or like not eating good enough, or getting all the micronutrients you need.
Definitely.
That causes overtraining, not actually training.
Definitely. I agree 100%, because food and your nutrition is what's gonna make your muscles recover. If you lack recovery, that's gonna put more stress on your muscles. That basically is equivalent to overtraining. Like if you don't train, like let's say somebody trains 80% and somebody else trains 50%. If you train 80%, but you eat food that helps you with recovery big time, it may not be overtraining for you. Somebody else trains 50%, but they're not eating the food that's gonna make their muscles recover. Mm-hmm. That puts them in the overtraining.
Yeah.
I think.
Sleep too. Sleep helps a
lot.
lot.
Definitely. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
8 to I personally sleep like 9 hours average a day.
Nice. That's very nice.
How about you?
Some days 9, some days 6, some days 5. Depends on the day.
Yeah, college life.
College life.
It's really difficult to have a fixed discipline.
Yeah.
I was like that too.
It's funny because I don't even go to classes, but I still wake up.
Well, thanks for mentioning this to the audience.
Yeah.
Hopefully the professors don't watch this podcast.
Yeah, but I still wake up, so
good.
I wake up, I do my studying at home.
No, I don't blame you. I was kind of like this too. It was a mess. I never had a discipline when I was in college. Yeah. I don't know why. Even when I had my first class start, maybe at noon, I wouldn't like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I never had a discipline. That was just me.
Unless there's attendance, unless there's grades taken on attendance, I'm not going to class
Right.
or a quiz or
Man.
anything. But okay, so back to bodybuilding. Did you have like an inspiration, somebody that inspired you, or like something from like childhood when you saw it or like think of it, and that's why you wanted to work out, and that's why you've been working out?
You know, that's a really good question,
Yeah, I
and
have a good
a
answer
lot
for
of people don't know the story. This is story, and including you actually. It's this story. Just a few people know this story, but I actually I used to love sports back in the day.
it.
Soccer, which back in Egypt we call it football. I
Yes.
used to love it, and it was like part of my life. And I would love, when I play soccer games and tournaments and, get that adrenaline rush and like feel the intensity and just feel your heart beating. And
Mhm.
it was like my favorite sport. But then I got a knee injury. I got injured, and because naturally my legs are curved, so I got a knee twist. So when I talked to the doctors and when they did the x-rays and MRIs, they said, you have a knee twist, but you can do physical therapy at the gym to recover, but we don't promise you if you go back you're not going to still get that knee twist. Turns out that because I have that curve in my legs are not 100% straight. It's more likely when I play high intensity sports like soccer that I would get uh, my knee twisted again, and it hurts and it's injured. Then I didn't listen to them. I went back to did physical therapy, went back to play soccer, got injured, and I kept repeating this until I was like, I gotta find something else now. Like I gotta find another sport. And what I love about the gym is that it actually it's the physical therapy. If you go to a physical therapist, they're gonna tell you to go to the gym and do specific workouts. This is how you heal your muscles. So the chances of injuries are not high. It's not very age dependent working out at the gym. Unlike soccer, if you're 40 years old, this is old for soccer. But for the gym, you could be 40, you could be 50, you could be 60, and still perform really good. So this is when the gym became my favorite.
So that's how you started.
Well, I started back in the day, but I was on and off. So I would say that's how I started, like being serious about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. It's actually kind of similar.
How about you?
It's kind of similar to my story.
Mhm.
Just we have a technical difficulty.
Again?
Yes.
Man, is it with the voice or what?
Yeah.
What happened?
My microphone stopped working.
Well, hopefully, what we recorded doesn't get erased.
It's no, it's there, but I need to fix it.
Okay, take your time. Take your time.
What made you? I'm still fixing it, but what made you like decide to take it seriously?
You know, um, first because of health. It's so healthy to be on a diet and to go to the gym and to have like a discipline in your life.
Yeah.
Um, for me as a married person, and I'm married and I have a child, this helps me a lot. That's one thing. The other thing, it helps me with the stress, a lot of stress. The gym really help is like a therapy for me. is a mental therapy. It's not just a physical therapy for me, the gym. It's also a mental therapy. So, and it's something I love doing. Like, I love busting my ass at the gym. I love like going there and having an intense workout and just sweating and, you know, listening to music, zoning out a little bit. It's when I don't go to the gym for like a week, I feel like just something wrong. There's something wrong with me. Like I feel like I'm addicted to the gym. Like for example, a week ago I was sick for a week after I came here last time when you and Turbo met.
Yeah.
When I got back, I got sick. It took me a week to recover. And, you know, I was just itching. I was itching to go to the gym.
Yeah, I feel it. I know
Yeah,
I feel it.
you know what I mean? So,
So I can match it again. Fine. Yeah, my story is actually kind of similar of how I started.
yeah, what was it? You never told me about it.
Yeah. You never asked me. Well, I used to love soccer, football, a lot. And it just, at 13, I got discouraged. I wanted to actually to play soccer professionally.
Wow.
Yeah. And I used to practice by myself on the rooftop of the building we lived in. And I got pretty good with like precision, kicking the ball precision and stuff. But eventually at 13 I got discouraged for several reasons.
So when you were playing on the rooftop, what happens if the ball got off the roof? You have to go down to...
Yeah, I go down again.
Oh my gosh. I understand your frustration.
No, it didn't happen that often actually.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I used to kick it
Gotcha.
at so we had like on the rooftop we had like an extra story kind of thing. I used to kick it at that wall, so it would never like bounce up, or like rarely.
Where was that?
Saudi.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, but anyway, eventually I got discouraged for a couple of reasons, which I'm not gonna mention today. But I started working out in summer 2013. I was
Yeah.
just home watching Naruto, and I got a call from my friend. He said he's going to a gym, and I had nothing better to do, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna join you.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Then I went, and from day one, I just got obsessed with it. And my friend, the one that I went with on the first day, he came
Yeah.
for like a week, and then he stopped, and then I just kept going by myself for years till I got injured when I was 17.
So it's asking me for the password here. It logged me out, so
Hopefully, still recording. Yeah.
nice, nice,
Right.
nice, nice. This laptop is good. Is that your laptop too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I got this when I was 14, I think, and this is the new one.
Nice.
But yeah. But when I was 6 years old, that's when I watched a movie and I saw
So
bodybuilders.
let me ask you this.
What?
I know I've seen from your pictures that you were so obsessed with the Olympians and the pro bodybuilders at some point of your life, and
Yeah.
your picture with Ronnie Coleman,
Yeah.
and you were so obsessed, and you were so like wanting to. I thought you were wanting to compete, and you know.
Yeah.
Why are you just doing it now for just for like what why aren't you competing, considering competitions?
No, I'm considering it. I want to try it, but I don't think I can do it professionally. I don't think I can do it for the rest of my life Mainly because I don't think I have the symmetry and proportion it takes, like naturally, genetically. And also, I don't enjoy working out in bodybuilding style as much as I enjoy working out powerlifting style or lifting heavy weights. I like to mix it up, but I've been, for the last 6 weeks, I think, 6 weeks, yeah, I've been strictly just doing bodybuilding, high volume, high intensity, just like focusing on each rep, squeezing the muscles. And I just don't enjoy it as much as going to a gym and like lifting the heaviest weight I could lift.
Gotcha.
And I'm actually starting to get tired of it. But I'll just finish my 8 week plan and I'll probably go back to lifting heavy.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah. No, but yeah, I was obsessed. But I was mainly obsessed with working out. And also the idea that a human being can be this big and the amount of work ethic it takes from not just working out but eating, staying consistent with food and training, because that's all it takes, consistency.
Definitely.
Anybody can work out for a
100%.
month, but if you're not consistent, you're not gonna get so far.
100%. 100%.
So yeah, that's why I don't want to compete really.
Gotcha.
But when I was 6, I saw like a movie where there were bodybuilders, and I saw that movie and I was like, I want to be this big. I was like 6, I think, at this time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It was Zeki Shen.
Really?
Yeah. Remember the scene when he applied to be a bodyguard? Security? And
I don't remember, man.
I'll show
You're
it
gonna
to
have
you.
to show it to me
I'll show
after
it to you.
this episode.
Yeah.
So,
But I saw that and I was like, I want to be this big. But now I don't want to be this big anymore.
Gotcha.
So, you're going into this competition all natural.
Yes. So, here is one thing about competitions, and a lot of people already know that.
I didn't for a long time.
You cannot go so far in the competition without considering some sort of steroids.
You cannot be a professional bodybuilder without steroids.
Yes, some people may argue that for sure.
Yeah.
So right now, I'm definitely doing it naturally because you can still win local competitions naturally, but regional competitions and like competitions for pro titles, it would be extremely difficult for sure. So for me, I understand the risks of steroids. I have read about it a lot.
Yeah.
And it scares me big time. And if you're not scared from it, there's something wrong with you, in my opinion. Like, you have to be really scared from considering to take something like that. Even if you have heard of somebody who did that, they take it and they just take it to go to the beach, to have the beach body. So yeah, this is not something you can take lightly. It's got side effects, and I even went a couple days ago and did testing. Testing is really important, and it's much more important when you're on a steroid cycle. You want to be able to test before, between, in the middle, and after the cycle, because if something bad starts to develop, like for example, if your kidneys are starting to get damaged, you can get to know this in early stages, and it could happen quickly. So I am completely natural, just dieting and supplements, workout supplements, and I still went to do some blood work, just to get to know where I'm at with my cholesterol levels, liver and kidney function, electrolytes, body electrolytes, testosterone and estrogen levels. I just want to measure my levels naturally. So I'm supposed to get the results tomorrow, so I'll let you know how they turned out.
Okay. Yeah, staying safe is a priority, of course.
Yes.
So, where do you want to take this? What, like, how far do you think? Let's say within 5 years. I already told you my opinion. I think you can make it pro within 5 years, but what do you think you're gonna do?
This is a really, really good question.
Yeah.
I've been daydreaming recently. I want to take it to the Olympia stage.
Yeah.
I know this is a lot of people may hear that and be like, "What the fuck is wrong with this guy? Like, is something wrong with him?" But
Why?
I'm very focused now. Now I'm very focused. I have like my lifestyle now is like 100% focused on bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And I'm competitive too. So, and disciplined. I want to take it to the next level. I want to make it a career. Like I want this to be my full-time job.
Nice.
For all those who may be wondering what I do for a living, I am currently an engineer. And for the oil field, and if you guys have heard, the oil field is actually crashing as we speak. So people getting laid off, that feeling of instability is not great.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a family. Like, it's not a stable field. I'm not gonna say I'm super unpassionate about it, but I'm not passionate either about it. I think from the reviews of my bosses and my managers at work is that I'm a smart engineer and I do a really good job at what I do, which is something I take pride on. And I will continue doing it until I reach this point in bodybuilding that I can say, there is no point of doing it anymore. But I'm not gonna be one of those people who will like just immediately quit my job and ditch everything I have and be like, oh, I'm quitting my job because you never know what's gonna happen in the future. Like, you may think you can step foot on the Olympia stage, and you may never step foot on the Olympia stage, no matter how hard you work. Just like what you mentioned about the genetics. This game is not just about hard work. Genetics play a big role in it. So you may not be genetically gifted enough to be a world-class bodybuilder. And you may be the hardest working bodybuilder, but you're not a world-class. So nothing is for granted. I'm currently keeping my job, doing what I'm doing, but I love doing bodybuilding on the side.
Okay.
As of currently, yes.
That's good. I think you should focus more on social media.
You are a genius, by the way.
Thank you.
You are on point. I was just thinking about this driving to come here.
Yeah.
That I never had I was never active on social media, and I think we could start. Me and you could start, and you don't have to be a pro bodybuilder to have social media and to have like and to podcast and to share information with people. It's just So you're absolutely right, 100%. I've been thinking about it. I will start doing it.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it goes. I just don't know yet what I'm gonna be talking about and stuff like that. But I definitely need to start doing it because it goes side by side also with the bodybuilding. Yeah. Like, as a bodybuilder, you don't want to be a bodybuilder that nobody heard about. You want to be a bodybuilder, and at the same time, you want to have your fans, and you want to be able to communicate between you and people, not isolate yourself. Yeah. So, how about you?
How about me? What? I have social media.
Nice. Nice.
No, I'm not as active as I used to be.
Yeah.
Before I came here, before I started college, I was posting several times on a daily basis.
Wow.
Yeah, and I have I still have the accounts. I don't use them as much, but at that time I had a total of 250,000 followers, I think.
Wow.
somewhere around that. But
That
now
is
they
beautiful.
dropped to like below 200,000, and their not engagement is of course low. So I need to revive the accounts.
Yes.
But I think if you
Nice.
just like post valuable content and like that's what I'm planning to do with this podcast, just like give value, talk about important stuff, and try to make it as digestible as possible, so it's easy to listen to. It's not like you listen to us and you want to go to bed, you know. And
If you want to make it more digestible, add some glutamine to it.
okay, I will for sure, for sure. I will do that next time. Should
Okay.
have said that before we started, bro. But yeah, even like the whole video of this, I'm gonna cut it down into like 30 seconds, 1 minute pieces. You can use it too.
Yes.
I mean, you talk most of the time, so you can use. There's a lot you can use. There's at least like 20 to 30 videos you can get out of this
Wow.
podcast that you can post on Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is. Cool. It's valuable content.
Definitely. Definitely.
So that's what you should do.
I am actually thinking about it seriously now,
You
so
should start
I
doing
think I'm gonna start doing
Yeah.
it and see how it
It's
goes.
not hard, and if I mean you need to just like post something
Definitely.
and post a
Like
lot.
I've thought about some topics before on my way here, and I think
Yeah.
one of the very useful topics is how does it feel to be a foreigner living on U.S. soil? Not just for Egyptians who want to come to the United
Yeah.
States, any foreigner who wants to come to the United States, what are the expectations when you come here to the U.S.? What do you expect? What are some of the things that we had in mind, some of the imaginations that we had, and we came here and it was different?
Okay.
Like what was better, what was not as good as we thought? How was the experience? So um,
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm gonna talk about for sure.
Okay. In like video form.
Yes.
Okay. Great. What time do you need to head out?
We can hit out like in 30 minutes.
Okay. Cool. But let's. I think that's enough for today. We have 40 minutes, over 40 minutes already.
Yeah.
How long is this?
Hopefully, this was a useful. I got 44 minutes.
Okay.
Oh
that's
yeah.
good.
So hopefully there was quite a bit of useful content.
Yeah.
And thanks, Tochi. Thanks,
Thanks for helping me with this.
of course, man.
Hopefully, I'm gonna drop this once a week. It's gonna be about different topics, like I said. And thank you for watching, listening, and please subscribe.
Should I click stop?
Yeah.
لا حلو يعني good first episode يعني